All right, guys. So welcome to our webinar tonight. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to hop on. Obviously you're either someone who genuinely cares about you or thinks you'd be phenomenal at this, invited you to Line tonight to take a look. I know there's a lot of other things you could be doing. So we appreciate your time to take a look at some of the amazingness of what's going on with the company that Dr. Wolowecki and myself have partnered with. And so just to give you kind of a background of what the overview will look like tonight, we're really kind of honing in on clinicians. It's not to say that this business is specific, that you have to be a clinician, but Louisa and I both happen to be PharmDs and really locked arms with this company have found a really great niche to make this a side hustle or front and center hustle, really low risk getting started, and a great, like starting out as a really great, exciting, energetic hobby, if you will, if you're burnt out of your corporate, whatever you're doing right now. But anyway, so Louisa is going to really tap into some of just the wave of the future of healthcare and how Isagenix is really on the cutting edge of functional medicine and how our products are serving so many today, like they have us. And so she's going to be sharing a little bit about that, and then we'll turn it over to me. And I'm actually going to be digging more into the actual compensation model. Yes, there is an income opportunity, and that is okay. It is okay to be building a business that helps people feel better, perform better, and do better, and actually be compensated for it and create a legacy for yourself. And I think sometimes it's hard for clinicians to accept that's okay, right? But it's totally okay. You get paid a dispensing fee and a counseling fee. You get paid hourly in your daily job. We'll talk about that. But without further ado, I am going to go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Louisa Wolowecki, and I'm going to let her share her screen and let her take over. And you're muted right now, just so you know. And I still can't hear you, Louisa, if you're trying to talk.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can.
Okay, good, perfect. All right, okay. As Melissa said, my name is Louisa Wolowecki. I'm a pharmacist as well, PharmD, and I wanted to just dive in and discuss how a functional medicine approach is becoming the wave of the future in healthcare, and how it is a way for mostly pharmacists to have a seat at this table while we're helping helping out and having some input and helping our patients. So let me go ahead and get started here. Still fooling around with my slides. Okay, so let's start out with the definition of functional medicine. Okay, functional medicine is defined as where we are promoting and achieving the highest level of health by addressing underlying root causes. The founding fathers of functional medicine include Dr. Jeffrey Bland, who formed the Institute for Functional Medicine in 1991, and Dr. Mark Hyman, who is the director of the Cleveland Clinic Center for Functional Medicine. And they both have this, this definition that it is a science-based, personalized healthcare approach to restoring and maintaining health. Okay, so of course, we want to get into how there's our genes that play a role, but our lifestyle, and our environmental exposures and diet play an even greater role in how we live. Okay, so tonight I'm gonna, due to time, I'm just gonna focus on 4 main concepts of functional medicine: removing toxins, repairing, re-inoculating, and then restoring nutrients. Okay, I'm having trouble with my clicker here, so okay, there it is. Okay, first concept I want to talk about is that of removing toxins. I just recently listened to a webinar from a Dr. Sahar Sweetan. She's a functional medicine practitioner. And the very first thing she said was that every day we swim in a bath of toxins. Okay, and that was her quote. And it kind of made me pay attention. So we are exposed to toxins every day, okay? They're in our environment, they're in the air we breathe, the foods we eat, pesticides that, we can't avoid, processed food, hair products, even though we try to choose the best ones, skincare, they're widespread, and they are making us feel sick, they're making us feel tired, and our bodies, in order to protect us, they go ahead and it binds up these toxins and stores it as visceral fat around our organs. Okay, so we want to try to reduce and eliminate. Oops, golly, having trouble with my pointer. Hold on here. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of them. So how do we get rid of them? Okay, intermittent fasting is something that we can incorporate. And intermittent fasting has been around, for centuries. But it is challenging. I mean, after all, people really don't like going without food. However, in just recent years, intermittent fasting has been shown to be very effective with healthy aging, increasing longevity, increasing the ability to regulate glucose better, as well as increasing resistance to stress and decreasing inflammation. And so, how do we do this? Okay, what I like about Isagenix is that we have a plant-based, antioxidant, adaptogen-rich drink to flood the body with nutrient botanicals. So we actually have a plan in place that is actually very flexible to accommodate a lot of different people's needs and conditions. Okay, with this plant-based, adaptogenic, antioxidant-rich drink, what we do is we flood your body with botanicals, and then by keeping your caloric intake, modestly controlled, these antioxidants bind up and neutralize the free radicals, and this allows the liver to clear it. If we remember a little bit about our I don't know what subject that was exactly, but physiology, the liver does two main things. They aid in digestion and they get rid of toxins. And so if it's not dealing with digestion, it's going to do a really good job of clearing out toxins. And that is how we get rid of toxins. This process helps to remove toxins, and it helps to remove visceral fat. It resets the appetite, helps with weight loss, improves mental clarity. And according to recently, New England Journal of Medicine, review article that I just looked through, Effects of Intermittent Fasting on Health, Aging, and Disease, dated December 26, 2019. And I quote, "During fasting, cells activate pathways that enhance intrinsic defenses against oxidative stress and aid in removing or repairing damaged molecules." So the conclusion is that, the studies are still kind of preliminary, but very robust in showing that a lot of disease modifying benefits are occurring, in patients with diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, as well as other chronic conditions. And so, the thought of intermittent fasting, people will Google all this stuff, but if you want to get even more information, and look into this even more so and beat it to death some more, you can go to clinicaltrials.gov. I did that as well, and just punch in intermittent fasting and it'll pop up with lots of studies, and you can kind of make up your mind for yourself. Okay, let me go ahead and advance this now. Okay. So that's the first concept. That is that of removing toxins. Our second concept is that of repairing. Okay, so we want to go ahead and repair by decreasing inflammation and oxidative stress. The main culprit in oxidative stress is high cortisol. Okay, and high cortisol is linked to all kinds of issues. Linked to hypertension, heart disease, high blood pressure. I mean, the list goes on and on, anxiety, depression. It can lead to, poor sleep and inability to release weight. So we have a method that decreases cortisol with, again, another plant-based, plant-rich adaptogenic drink, okay? And what this plant-based adaptogenic drink does is that it decreases and normalizes oxidative stress. And so maybe many of you are thinking, what's a plant adaptogen? Okay, and I had to look that up too. Plant adaptogens are those plants that have evolved under significantly stressed conditions and now have properties that decrease and normalize oxidative stress at the cellular level. Some of you maybe have heard of these plants. They include herbs known as ashwagandha, eleuthero root, rhodiola, wolfberry, to name just a few. And we use these we use them in quite a few of our products. Okay, the next concept that I'd like to get through is that of reinoculating. Okay, so we've already removed the toxins. We're looking to repair with decreasing cortisol and using a product to help to repair. Now we're going to go ahead and look at reinoculating. Okay, so with reinoculation, the goal here is to improve and promote GI health, because improving your gastrointestinal health promotes overall health. Gut dysfunction is linked to all these different conditions and chronic illnesses. You can see them here: IBS, fibromyalgia, fatigue, headaches, arthritis, allergies, eczema, asthma, and additionally, your circadian rhythms, your stress, inflammation, hormonal effects, all these other things also affect your GI microorganisms and your microbiome. So one way that we can go ahead and reinoculate this is by adding our digestive enzymes, which are very comprehensive. And, unfortunately, our digestive enzymes, do decrease with age. And by adding the digestive enzymes, this helps with digestion and absorption, because as you know, we're only as good as what we absorb. And so these are very helpful in promoting that. Next step will be, of course, to add probiotics. We have an outstanding probiotics that we use. These probiotics are there to aid in reestablishing a healthy microbiome. And a healthy microbiome is so important because it will support a healthy neuroendocrine gut-brain function. Okay, and when that's working well, then everybody's doing well. So an important point to bring up is that you need to have strains that are very diversified, that are found in the gut, along with a high enough concentration. Our probiotics are very diverse. We also include a very important one, the Saccharomyces boulardii, which is often not found it's often found by itself. And this is a key strain because it's good for treating and preventing diarrhea, and helps with C. diff if you're prone to getting C. diff due to antibiotic use. Okay, and probiotics are being used in lots of other areas as well: food allergies, atopic dermatitis, and allergic rhinitis. So our third concept is that of reinoculating and getting the GI tract healthy. Okay, so let's go on to the next concept. The last concept I'm going to touch on is that of restoring our nutrients. Okay, so after we've removed our toxins and we've decreased inflammation, and then we've started to replenish our probiotics and our digestive enzymes, replenishing our GI tract, we want to look at replenishing our nutrients and restoring our nutrients, because in addition to enzymes and probiotics, there are so many different medications that deplete different minerals and vitamins that we have in our system. And you can tell, and many of these, y'all, if you're a pharmacist, you probably already know. B12 being depleted by metformin, D3 depleted by these medications, and D3 so important for bone health, also aids in depression now as well. We see, folic acid depleted by carbamazepine, oral contraceptives, zinc, magnesium, and potassium depleted by, patients that are taking hypertension medications like the thiazides and the loop diuretics, as well as PPIs, and then coenzyme Q10 depleted by statins. And lots of times, in addition, these nutrient deficiencies, may present also with symptoms that get overlooked. Sometimes folks can't draw the line between muscle cramps and mood changes. That this means that your potassium is low. A lot of us know that if you have an irregular heartbeat, to look for low potassium. That your magnesium is low. A lot of us know that irregular heartbeats may mean a low potassium, and then also weakness, numbness, and tingling could indicate low B6, B12, and zinc. Again, we have very comprehensive multivitamins that address and replenish and restore all of these nutrients. Okay, And then the last thing that I wanted to go through is the importance of utilizing nutritionally dense foods to continue to replenish nutrients and nourish our bodies. The one thing that I wanted to cover are our nutrient-dense meal replacement shakes. They're pretty amazing. They replenish and nourish our bodies with the perfect balance of protein, carbohydrates, fats, prebiotics, live enzymes, 70 plus minerals and trace minerals. They're gluten-free, lactose-free, soy-free, and no artificial anything. And the thing that makes them so amazing is they have undenatured whey that's sourced from grass-fed cows that are not inflamed and are milked in season. You know, and this is really important because they're determining that lots of times it's not really so much the whey that people are having an adverse effect to. It's the fact that the dairy cows, that the cows that they're sourcing this whey from, you know, are inflamed. And so, you know, as a result of that, you know, people are having adverse effects to dairy whey. Now, I'm not even a big dairy person. I'm a lot of plant-based, and I can go on and on about our plant-based shakes as well. But I am very impressed with the composition of our shakes. Another thing I wanted to hit on is that, you know, because it's undenatured whey, the branched chain amino acids stay intact. They have all these special proteins that you don't see in whey that's been processed with high heat that improves, like the alpha lactoalbumin that is involved in improving mental clarity. Oops, what happened to my screen? I'm sorry about that. Okay. Why is it going away? All right. And other essential, there's also an essential amino acid profile that is superior. And as we know, essential amino acids, we do not manufacture in the body, so we do have to take it in with our diet. Other things, bioactive peptides that help with regulate appetite, you know, the beta-lactoglobulins that bind with vitamin A and increase uptake of vitamin A, which is really important and critical, as well as a special protein that is only in undenatured whey. These are only in undenatured whey. That's helpful in protecting the GI tract from growth with harmful bacteria in the gut. So, you know, our shakes are very effective. They're also effective in increasing, you know, the protein demands as people age. Their muscle starts to deteriorate, and I think that's an important point to bring up as well, because that's an effective tool for that. You know, additionally, our shakes are really great for getting us into an alkaline state. You know, so many of us most of America, unfortunately, lives in an acidic state. And, you know, with all of us living in an acidic, toxic state due to all our environmental toxins and processed foods, a lot of disease and illness thrive in an acidic environment. And it also it diminishes our body's ability to have a great immunological response. So it's very important to get our bodies into an alkaline state. Our bodies are designed to function at their optimum when they are in an alkaline state. And our very dense, our nutritionally dense shakes do just that. And with that, I think I'm wrapped up here, because that's my last slide. So that was the last one with restoring and replenishing nutrients. So I will turn it over to you, Miss Melissa.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me? Wonderful. Is Louisa not a wealth of knowledge? So I failed to let you guys know how we met each other. Actually, we were kind of colleagues from we both did work at Harris Teeter Pharmacy. We're both pharmacists, kind of filled in PRN work, and went our separate ways. And we found each other on LinkedIn. She had seen that I had left my corporate job. She had moved to Arizona, and she was interested in what it was I was doing. And this is the power of networking and connecting with people, right? And this is really a good segue, is how we met. Or kind of reconnected, right? And Louisa was open and really wanted to lean in and learn more about the business model I had really began to run with. And she joined us a year or two ago, and has just been, what's that?
2 years. 2
years.
2 years.
And it's been such an amazing journey, and she's become such a dear friend. And that's one of the things I love about this business, is the friendships that you create through the people that you work with. And she's a LinkedIn master too. So anyway, thank you, Louisa, for all that you shared. I am going to dive in now on my part. And I'll take a step back and really want to just acknowledge my story. And then I'm going to really dive into the financial model. But so many of you don't know who I am. So again, Melissa Hinault, PharmD. A couple of years ago, right before I was introduced to Isagenix, I was the girl in the pink dress there in the middle of the photograph. And I was exhausted. I was a leader in the pharmaceutical industry in the clinical arena. I had 2 children in diapers, and I was rarely home. And when I was home, I was on conference calls and I worked late. And I was in my mid-30s and had really kind of come to accept the fact that it was the career track that I had chosen. And that was life, being exhausted, not sleeping well, and having some stubborn midsection fat that I thought I'd never get rid of. To the left, to the woman in the green dress, same me 6 months later, after being introduced to Isagenix. I was introduced to the products by a dear friend, just how the word of mouth is spread by people you know, like, and trust. I put the products in my body, and literally I still just, it gives me chills to smile about, like, the transformations that happened within me just in a period of days. My sleep, my energy. I was showing up a more engaged employee, a more engaged boss. I had more energy for my children at night, my husband. And I don't even have to get into the science of why, because Louisa really just kind of filled you guys in on a lot of that. But I also began performing better at the gym. I'd always been an athlete, but I was hitting PRs. And so I ultimately leaned in and learned the business model. Even though I had a doctorate, I had a big, shiny title job. I was making multiple 6 figures in a corporate career. I'd spent multiple 6 figures getting the education for, and was paying interest on the debt for. And oddly enough, it's not odd. It's actually incredible. And I'm grateful to this day. I leaned in and learned the business model. And I learned that I could build this business in the pockets of my time as a busy working professional, and help other working professionals and moms in pharmacy trying to keep it all together, could coach them and teach them on how to stay more nourished, how to show up better in life, a better version of themselves by putting their oxygen mask on first, and teaching them a business model that could create a residual income stream for themselves. And so fast forward all the way over there to the right, that was about 6 or 7 months after I fired my boss. Our comp was on maternity leave, and our company was going through another interesting restructure, which actually Kim may have been a part of or aware of. She's a guest on the line tonight, but I was consulting for a company where the client was actually looking to purchase our team. And I don't mind being fully transparent and saying that I was asked to interview for a job when my child was 2 weeks old. I was home on maternity leave with my last child. It's the last time I was ever going to be home with a baby. And he was, it was everything to me. And with both of my other children, I literally had to hop on an airplane and leave them the moment maternity leave was over, because that was just my career. I was always in territories where I traveled, and I covered lots of states. And luckily for me, and it wasn't lucky, it was strategic, I had created an income producing asset for myself along the way. So that a little over 2 years ago, when I was put in that position in that late fall, and I was told that I needed to interview for a job if I wanted to be considered to be offered a permanent position with that company, I opted out. I said I didn't want to. It didn't serve me. I was not going to spend my maternity leave brushing over my resume and preparing a presentation when they were the last couple of moments of time ever that I would be home with a newborn ever again. And I'm forever grateful that I had created the financial freedom for myself to be able to be in that position to walk away. And my boss thought I'd lost my mind, and told me unless I was independently wealthy, I might want to just, work that angle, take the job, and figure it out. That wasn't what was going to work for me. So I'm here to really cast a vision for you guys. You may love your career. I loved my career, but sometimes timing isn't right, and you feel like you're giving so much to your career and your family's getting your leftovers. Maybe like your whole soul and who you are and what you represent is getting leftovers because you're so committed to your career and trading that time for money. And I'm just here to shed light that there's other ways to create income producing assets for yourself, that you can have more free time to sit on a swing and stay home with your couple months old baby if you want, and still not miss a beat in paying your bills and paying off debt. So let me skip through this because Louisa went through the products, and I'm going to go straight to the compensation model as soon as I can get there. Okay. So why did I share that story with you? I shared that story with you because, oh my gosh, this slide right here, the timing could never be better in saying people are working differently, aren't they? I think that some of us on the line come from industries where we've worked from home and remotely. I have the majority of my life, but a lot of people haven't. But people are working differently now. The future is changing right before our eyes. I don't think the world will ever be the same as it was when we're done with this whole corona pandemic that we're going through. But let me just entertain your thoughts here. The largest transportation company does not own a vehicle, Uber. The largest hotel company doesn't own a hotel, Airbnb, right? The fastest growing trend to shop is not getting in your car. How many of you have been blowing up Amazon the past couple of weeks, right? Isagenix is on the forefront of that. Imagine your own health and wellness franchise in the palm of your hands, and that is Isagenix. Guys, our business, those that are on the line who are business builders can attest to this. Our business has never been bigger than it is over the past couple of weeks, where people can literally order and purchase health and wellness products with clinical data, validating the purity, the quality, the safety, and also data to improve the immune system to protect us from harm's way, right? All shipped to your front doorstep. And so I just want to kind of entertain that thought that how we're doing things differently. Our economy is evolving. I mean, how many of us are selling and buying online, have second jobs? We think about influencer marketing, online coaching, consulting services. I know so many pharmacists that are getting into the consulting arena, blogging. I know a lot of pharmacists who do some blogging on the side, but here's the thing. Here's the thing I want you guys to think about. In all those categories, people are still trading their time for their money, which means that you have to show up in order to get paid with each transaction. If you're consulting, you're always out for the next gig, right? If you're running an Uber, you're always out looking for the next client. But there is a way to do it differently. There's a way to do it differently that I want to really talk through from a financial model that if you was trained traditionally like me, I didn't know that this type of financial model actually existed, okay? It's network marketing. We're gonna talk about how you can create an income producing asset for yourself so that you can actually walk away at your desired point and have an income producing asset that continues to pay you out for life. As it has for me. For instance, when I was on maternity leave and I didn't work for months and I had an income producing asset that continued to pay my bills. Network marketing is incredibly appealing for a number of reasons. Number one, it's location independent. I mean, you guys are dialing in from all over the country. We're in 18 countries, right? So we're across the globe. You can work anywhere. We have millennials that work in Bali and they're building a business in the United States, right? The schedule is flexible. Here I am on a call tonight after I got one of my two kids to bed, right? But at work, I'm working my business around tutoring my kids right now. The income is uncapped, and I'm going to talk about that. There's many benefits. You can look down the list, and the compound effect is what I'm really going to highlight tonight. This slide's a little bit old, but when you're looking at, so I've highlighted network marketing, but specifically Isagenix is the health and wellness network marketing company that I have chosen to do business with, and Dr. Louisa has chosen to do business with. We have well over 600,000 global customers. We're in over 20 countries. Our Better Business Bureau rating is off the charts. We are one of the most trusted companies out there when it comes to network marketing, setting the bar for network marketing. And it's one of the reasons you're seeing droves of professionals come into this particular company, this particular organization, between the trust factor, the quality factor, and the polished professionalism of the company. The timing, gosh, I wish I could show you where we are today. This slide, again, is a little old, but where we are today in the focus and health and wellness and a protected immune system, and the convenience of nutrition being shipped to your front doorstep. Guys, if you don't introduce people to these products, someone in your network will. It will become as popular as Nike or Apple. We are on our way. Now, so let's get into the financial model. I'm going to do a quick time check. The financial model. I want to just, some of you are probably very savvy. I see like John's on the line and he's in real estate. So he really gets some of the financial model. But those of you traditionally trained with like a clinical degree probably weren't trained around the differences between leveraged income and linear income. So that's really what I want to talk about. And I'm really going to hone in on Robert Kiyosaki, because Robert Kiyosaki wrote a phenomenal book that walks you through the difference between linear income and residual income. And you see, Isagenix actually has both, and I'm going to walk you through those models. So Robert Kiyosaki really alludes to the left-hand side of the quadrant, which I have highlighted right now, and then we're going to talk about the right-hand side of the quadrant in a minute. The left-hand side of the quadrant is where the employee is, that's trading their time for money, or the self-employed. Here's the thing I want you to keep in mind about the employee and the self-employed. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter if you're blue collar or white collar. If you're a surgeon, if you're the janitor, you still have to show up to get paid. I found in my most recent corporate career, being kind of the key decision maker for a large group of people, I was the most important person that there was no time off. Even on my vacations, my computer came with me. And this is what I mean about linear income. You can make a lot of money, but you still have no freedom. You have no time freedom. You have really no financial freedom, because at any given moment, the corporation can rip the rug out from under you and say, our budgets are cut, especially this day and age with how our economy is completely slowing down. You have no control, right? Over that. So the left-hand side of the quadrant is where the linear income comes in. You have to go to work to get paid over and over and over again. This is 95% of the population, and it's only 5% of the wealth. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather be where 95% of the wealth is, and that's over on the right-hand side of the quadrant. Now, I want to cast a vision to you that on the right-hand side of the quadrant, you actually become the least significant aspect of your business, meaning you have more time freedom because you've created an income producing asset for yourself so that you don't have to show up all the time every day. I work about 2, maybe 3 hours, 4 to 5 days a week on my network marketing business, and I'm making 6 figures with it. And the reason for that is because of leverage. I'm working with a team together, and I'm going to walk you through that a little bit in a minute. But the key is on the right-hand side of the quadrant. People on the right-hand side of the quadrant are seen as business owners. They're seen as investors. The average person thinks, I have to have a lot of money, be willing to take a lot of risk, and be willing to invest to be successful here. Or I have to be very well trained with the right schooling to be an investor, right? And so a lot of people don't even play over here. Now, again, I know personally, I've got one real estate guy on the line today, and he totally gets that. John, I know you totally get this, and you're investing, and you get the income producing asset piece and the multiple income streams, which is why you're probably on the line tonight, because you see this as another income stream, as a feather in your cap to depend on, right? Versus trading time for money, where, for instance, we have a lot of fitness instructors, hairstylists, dentists who depend on face-to-face daily interaction with the service in order to get paid, right? So on that right-hand side of the quadrant, it's a legacy income where you're either leveraging money or you're leveraging people as a group effort to grow and scale a business that can compound exponentially while you sleep. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is the place I like to live. So what I want to highlight to you is that Isagenix truly has both quadrants. So I don't want to say that everyone comes into Isagenix and builds a legacy of profit share for themselves with Isagenix. It definitely is directly correlated to your effort in the business, right? But there's also upfront money to make with that linear income that I talked about with Robert Kiyosaki. So the linear income, trading time for money, and I actually had a conversation this afternoon with New about this. And that is when you first are introducing people to the product, you're going to get rank advancement bonuses. This is thank you money from the company. It's just like traditional sales that's going to say thank you for sharing these products, right? There's also rank advancement bonuses, just like traditional sales, as you rank advance up the ranks and in the leadership pools. Now, where does the legacy come in? The legacy piece is the profit share. The legacy is where you work as a concerted effort with a team to grow and scale a business of mass consumption, where the company pays you 6% profit share every single Monday. Guys, I get paid every Monday, and I actually get paid daily when I introduce people to the product. And so the profit share piece comes with growing and scaling that income producing asset of consumption of product. It's willable. My husband, this is not a business that dwindles. If I were to pass away tomorrow, that income producing asset is going to pay him out. I pay the mortgage, I pay the car payment every single month, so that he has that security that he wouldn't have to scramble and sell the house. For those of you who come from other network marketing companies, I want you to understand that we have no levels. We have no washouts. That means nothing to people who have no experience in network marketing, like I had none, so it didn't mean anything, but it does now. And we have unlimited earning potential. Sometimes people say, oh, only the people at the top that came in first make all the money. I came in 16 years after everybody else, and I'm a top income earner with the company, right? So there's a huge difference between network marketing and our compensation model versus an MLM that's against the law, where only the people who came in early on benefit. Our compensation model is designed to be equal and fair for everyone who comes into the company. Okay, great, Melissa. Well, how do we get started, right? How do we get started with this? Here's the cool thing. There's never been a better time to get started. There's absolutely no risk. This is what I love about our company. You heard Louisa, you heard me. I started by being a consumer. I simply put the products in my body and had an experience myself. How did I do that? I opened up a wholesale account, just like you would with Costco, just like you would with Amazon. When you get a virtual online wholesale account, you can purchase your products and they're shipped to your front doorstep. And you're really just redirecting spending on nutrition and supplements that you're probably already consuming. So if you're really honest with yourself, the cost of doing this business is actually nothing that you weren't already spending. And you eat it and you write your overhead off as the cost of doing business. And you have the opportunity to become the best version of yourself physically and energetically and mentally, and join an engaging, uplifting, positive group and community that's cheering you on. So you find a way to redirect your spending, whether you need weight loss. Maybe you want to up the ante in your performance. We have so many professional athletes on our team. Maybe it's vitality and well-being. Maybe you feel like you're at the top of your game, but you want to maintain that. We have phenomenal products for that. Personal care and beauty, even children. My children don't go a day right now without our Immune, which has desiccated mushrooms in it to really boost their immune system, and our vitamins in our children's shakes, okay? Because our food chain supply is corrupt. They're not getting the vitamins and minerals that they need to, even if I'm pumping them full of everything I possibly can. So you redirect your spend, simply choose our products versus products that you're currently using, and go on your own health and wellness journey like I did, like Louisa did, like everyone. And then from there, you ask yourself, as you're on your journey, who do I know? Who do I know that could use a health or wellness makeover? These are some of our teammates. Yes, we know them personally. Yes, they look that good. It's pretty awesome. Who needs a financial makeover, especially right now? Who is looking for an opportunity for like side income right now? Who would $500 a month, $1,000 a month make a huge difference in their lives right now? Or the exciting piece I love, this is some of my team at our last event. Who do you want to partner with? I love finding like-minded people, like New, who's on the line tonight. I just met her this afternoon, and she is zealous. She's, wants more out of life. She's a go-getter. She's an entrepreneur in her own right. She's a pharmacist who shows up in life. And these are the people we like to partner with, right? That want to run with this and are passionate about health and wellness and can get behind our our vision and our mission to improve world health, and in the process, relieve people's financial pain and burden, right? So how does it work? We have lots of tools and resources. You can send quick videos to people and just simply ask them to take a look. And if it sounds like something they wouldn't want to do and go on this journey with you, you can simply send them a recommended cart, and they enroll. It's a virtual online business. You're not holding any inventory. You're not shipping or delivering anything, but you are getting 6% profit share. The company gives the money back to the people who share the products in the business the most. So what I want to close out with is a little bit of the numbers. So don't let this go completely. When I first saw this as a clinician, it completely went over my head. And honestly, it took me 8 or 9 months to start figuring out the comp model. So if this confuses you, I apologize. But those of you who are kind of business savvy, it'll make a little bit of sense. But the key is you become a part of our organization the moment you purchase the products. You gain a position on the team and you begin to participate in accumulating team volume of product that's being purchased in the business, right? And so those are just royalty points that you get for being what we call a committed consumer. But the moment you actually share the products with 2 people, maybe your spouse and maybe a family member, another family member, or a running buddy, or a girlfriend from pharmacy school or whatnot, once you introduce them to 2 people, you are quote unquote open for business and begin to participate in profit share. Many who join find that the moment they go open for business, there's already residual volume accumulated in their back office from the team building right underneath them, okay? So that's the committed consumer model. And there's the opportunity with the upfront rank advancement bonuses of up to about $10,000 with Isagenix. But that's all linear pay. And I know that you guys that are on the line tonight are wondering, how does it become residual? How do the numbers really shake out to become an income producing asset that's a compound effect over time? So I want to cast a vision to you that if this is you with the you share up top, and you share with one person on your right and one person on your left, maybe one needs a health change and one wants to up the ante in their performance. They have great results. You're open for business now and profit sharing because you introduced 2 people. Now you teach them how to do the exact same thing. We call that they share, okay? Now you've got 300 business volume on your left and on your right running through what we call your business center, which doesn't even include all the teammates that are being added to your team because of the team that you've joined, okay? Where the profit share makes sense, and I've just got 2 more slides, and so follow me on this for just a second because I do want to speak to the business savvy numbers people who are wondering, okay, Melissa, how did you create an income producing asset out of nutrition, okay? If this is Jim up top, just follow the numbers for a minute. So Jim introduces it to Kathy and he introduces it to Gerald, right? And now he's got 2 people in his organization who love the products, are committed to the global growth of the company as well because they are loving their results, and they go share with 2 people. Now there's 4 in the organization, right? And when you start doing the math on the business volume that's running through the business center, it starts to accumulate as each person begins to share with 2 people. We just play in 2s. If each person shares with 2 people, they begin the profit share with the business and it grows the volume. What the profit share is 6% of the sales of the company through your business center. So you go from 4 people in your organization to all of them sharing with 2 people. Now you have 8. Then you have 16. This is called geometric progression. And it doesn't take long before you move down the line from 32 to 64 to 128, all the way down the line to 8,190. And so I'll give you a real world example. I should probably make a new slide that's just mine. I have personally enrolled about 250 people in Isagenix. My team, as a group effort, we have enrolled over 5,000. So even though I've only personally enrolled 250, there's 5,000 in my organization where I get 6% profit share, as do my teammates who are participating within those teams growing and scaling and building their business. We get 6% profit share. So this is what that looks like. I say you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, because when you look over here to the right in a business center that goes down 12 levels, where everybody's shared with just 2 people they love, it's over 8,000 people in their organization, which breaks down to about $12,000 a week in profit share. It's actually not rocket science. It's pretty straightforward that the company gives back 6% as you grow and scale your business. So that was a mouthful, from the science all the way to the numbers, but you're a very targeted audience that wants to know both. And so that's why we really got into the details. And I really pose the question to all of you that if not now, when? The time has never been better for where we are in our current environment at home, with the opportunity to build and grow and scale an online business in health and wellness in the pockets of your time. And I will tell you that our team is actually launching next Monday a 6-week program that I've personally designed to fit into the pockets of your time. It's called the 6-Figure 6-Week Side Hustle. And we coach you step by step, week by week on your time. You get to catch the replay, work in the activities when you need to, but we hold your hand in growing and scaling this business and learning this business. So I extend the invitation to you guys to reach back out to the person who invited you to the call, to learn a little bit more, because I know this was a mouthful. But at the end, there's no reason not to go on a journey of better health for 30 days, to dip your toe in, like Louisa and I did when we first got started, and decide for yourself. Decide for yourself if we're crazy or if these products are really that great. So with that, I will close out. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Louisa, any final comments that you want to make before we wrap up, or are you good?
Yeah, just one thing. I wanted to just reach out to everybody that's in healthcare, pharmacists, anybody on the front lines. Want to just tell you you're in our prayers and we appreciate you. So just wanted to leave that as a final note.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. We appreciate you all so, so much, and everything that you're doing for our country, everyone. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening.